the next part is talk about our Nexus NFT. Now, I spent a lot of time in Discord this morning and also last night. Lots of questions there about how things work, etc. And I wanted to do sort of a little deep dive into the Nexus NFT and how it works. I wanted to have examples, but unfortunately, time was short, and I couldn't do that. But maybe we'll do it for another download. But here, I wanted to at least give you some basics and understand and explain and answer the top questions I get. So let's get into that. But first, a sip of chai. All right, Nexus NFT it is. Okay, so what you're seeing here is sort of a visual representation of what your Nexus NFT is going to be. This is what you're going to be airdropped on or about December 1. So the Nexus NFT is your membership card, if you will, in the Vitruvio ecosystem. It has the following. So first and foremost, from a token standpoint, it has how many Genesis tokens you are owed. It has how many perks you're eligible for. So we'll talk about how the perks are calculated, but basically it's proportionate share. So depending on how many total Genesis tokens are and how many of those are yours, we can do the math and calculate what the perks are. It's calculated using a unit called basis points. That's a financial unit. Extra it means how many tokens did you boost this Nexus NFT with. So those would go in there. They are different from your Genesis ones. The reason they're different is because your Genesis tokens are used to calculate a certain amount of your perks and a certain amount of your rev share, and your extra tokens are then used to calculate additional perks and additional rev share, depending on which boosters you have and how many tokens you got, and so on and so forth. So you also have a vesting schedule here, and each little rectangle down below there represents a 30-day period, and it tells you in basis points what the percentage vesting is. So 25 means 0.25, 30 means 0.30, 819 means 8.19%, and so on and so forth. So that's what that section is, and that changes based upon the boost, right? So every time you boost, those numbers increase, and you want them to increase because it means you're vesting faster. And last but not the least, on the bottom, your Nexus NFT also gives you voting rights in the DAO. So in previous downloads, I've explained how we are using quadratic voting, so to minimize the impact of large token holders in the voting. So here, with the Nexus NFT, it has your votes, and it also has your delegated votes. What delegated means is that not everyone has the time or the wherewithal to participate in all the votes that we're going to have with the DAO. So what you can do is you can just delegate your vote to someone else. So you essentially say that, you know what, I'm not going to be around a whole lot. I trust you to make decisions. So here's my vote. And you can hand it off to them. And so they have your voting, they vote on your behalf as your delegate. And you can get that back anytime you want to. You can just get that back and say that, well, you're doing a terrible job. I want it back. And you can delegate to different people. So you can delegate some votes to some people, one person, and more votes to another person, and so on. On the right-hand side, you see the functions that you'll be able to execute with the Nexus NFT. So as I mentioned earlier, we're building a dApp. So you'll be able to go to that dashboard, and you'll be able to see all the stats that are important to you. You'll be able to see how many tokens you have, how many are already vested, how many will be vested, how many are what the rebase amounts are, how many you've claimed, and all of that. So just think about all these numbers in a dashboard that will make it pretty. The initial version of it is probably not going to be highly full featured because we're trying to get this out very quickly, but in time, in over a period of 2 or 3 months, it will be very refined and very, very nice. But the functions you're going to have here are, first of all, claim Vitru. So whenever you have a situation where there's vesting going on, what happens is there is a portion that's vested and there's a portion that's unvested. And because this is blockchain and things don't happen asynchronously like they happen in Web 2, in blockchain, a transaction has to occur in order for any change of state. So for tokens to move from one place to another. So when you choose to claim Bitrue, you are initiating a transaction. And what it's going to do is go and see that, well, how many of this Nexus NFT tokens are vested already? And it's going to take those tokens and it's going to drop them into your wallet. So they're free and clear. You can do whatever you want to with them. In addition to those tokens, it's going to drop the rebase also for that. So every time you claim Bitrue, if there's been any rebases, you're not only going to get whatever's vested, but whatever's rebased also in there. The next thing is claim perks, claim rev share, and delegate votes. I actually have slides for each one of these, so let's just go through it that way. So the claiming allocated Bitrue, just to reinforce, right? You can claim whenever you want, right? You can claim as often as you want, but you might come up empty. If 30 days have not elapsed and you claim, well, if you just claimed, there's nothing to claim anymore. And so it'll come up empty. But if you wait a month or 2 months or 3 months, then you have essentially a cluster of vested Bitrue that are waiting there. And so those will be available for you, and they will be immediately available in your account. So think of the Nexus NFT as a card that controls your ability to claim your tokens, right? So your vested Bitrue and your rebased Bitrue will immediately be available in your account. What do I mean by that? Like in your wallet. So if you use MetaMask, you can view it that way. If you use Rainbow, you can view it that way. You can use both simultaneously. It doesn't matter. That's how blockchain account works. A blockchain account is on the blockchain, and your wallet is just a way. It's like a lens onto that account. So you can use as many wallets as you want at the same time. No tokens are ever on any blockchain in your wallet. It's a misconception a lot of people have that tokens are in their wallet. They are not. A wallet is merely a tool to look at your balance of an account on the blockchain, and a tool to sign a transaction to change that. So anyway, when you do a claim, your vested Bitrues, your rebased Bitrues, boom, immediately available in your account. What can you do with that? Whatever you wish. You can send those to someone else. You can use those in a game or whatever dApps are available. Whatever you want. They're free and clear, and you can do whatever you want. Now, one of the nice things is if you leave these tokens to sit in your account, if there's any rebases, you will automatically, by doing nothing, see the number of tokens grow in your wallet. And you've seen me do demos of this where I've had the MetaMask wallet up, and just by sitting there, a rebase occurs and the balance just goes up. And it's a magical and amazing feeling, and you cannot do this on any other protocol, because every other protocol that has rebasing uses a smart contract. We built this into the protocol, and that's why we can automatically have your wallet balance increase from rebasing. All right, so that's how claiming of allocated Bitrue works. Next up is how to claim perks. Now, this is something that a lot of people are very confused about, so I'm going to take it slow and explain it step by step, but always some chai. Okay, so your perks Bitrue, and there's various categories. There's 3 categories. There's the OG one, there's the validators one, and there's the boosters one. So there are basically 3 vaults. So these are vesting in the vaults daily over 730 days. Now, note the difference. Your allocated Bitrue vest monthly, every 30 days. The perks tokens are vesting daily over 730 days. So it's basically 2 years. Now, the problem or the challenge is that those vested perks are not available until a rebase occurs. So when a rebase occurs, the protocol checks for what are all the vested perks that are available. So let's say that 3 days have elapsed since a rebase occurred. So that you have 3 days of vested perks just sitting in the vault there, ready. That's when the protocol grabs those and puts them into a perk pool. So, and this is applies to all 3 pools, right? That amount of Bitrue that is in the pool is now immediately available for anyone to claim, provided they hold a Nexus or a validator NFT. You have to have that. We haven't talked about validator NFTs yet because it's very much like the Nexus NFT, except it's specific to a validator. So you need the validator because, you need the Nexus NFT because if you recollect here, this is how it tracks your perks, but you've also got that claim function. You can claim your perks, right? So you can claim all or a portion of your perks anytime you want, anytime. Whatever's accumulated, boom, you can get that. You get the rebases also, right? And this is the tricky part. Claims for your perks can be made as often as you want, but every time you claim, you are essentially pulling out of the perks program for the portion that you have claimed. So let's say that you claim 20% of your perks, right? Now you only have 80% remaining. Perks are not, and I'll repeat this again and emphasize, perks are not something that you can just keep coming and claiming as much as you want every month or every day or whatever. You can claim as often as you want, but every time you claim, you reduce your share of perks. So in this example, when you claim 20%, only 80% is remaining. What happens to the remaining 20% in the future? Well, that 20% gets divided among all the people who are still there. So if you want to get your perks sooner, you're more than welcome to do that. You will get it out, but you forfeit that portion, the portion you've removed, you forfeit that forever after that. Okay. So the best strategy for claiming perks, if you want to maximize and get the most perks possible, is to wait until the perks are fully vested. So that would be 730 days and fully rebased, which would be approximately 5 years. So if the perks program isn't intended to be a sort of just get in there and claim whenever you want. You can, but you won't be handsomely rewarded. If you want to be maximally rewarded, then you let it sit there for approximately 5 years, and then you've got the maximum rebasing, and you can claim 100% because it's not going to change anything about it. The benefit of sticking around also is that if in your calculations you have a certain number X, if other people are claiming their perks, guess what? Your share keeps going up higher and higher and higher. So this is one specific situation, but patience is financially rewarded. Your patience holding is gonna guarantee you more Vitru. That's basically the lowdown on perks, and hopefully this helped everyone get a better understanding on it. All right, the next thing is rev share. Now rev share is different from perks. Claim rev share whenever you want. So as we proceed and we get more sales and the fees come in, etc., we'll have recurring income, right? So that's your rev share. It goes into pools. You have a certain amount that's yours. Go in there, transfer it to your account. It's immediately yours. You can do that as often as you want. So think of rev share as the recurring income, which you can do hourly, daily, weekly, whatever you want, whatever frequency. There is no limit to the rev share claiming. Think of perks as your 401k. Okay, it's your longer term thing. It's you got to keep it there, and if you keep it there, you won't pay any penalties or anything like that. Like if you withdraw early from a 401k, you pay a sizable penalty. It's just like that. Your penalty with perks, if you withdraw early, claim early, is you forfeit amounts, right? So rev share, recurring income, perks, long-term income. Now, you need to have a booster in order to get either of these. So if you don't have a booster and you don't boost it, you're not getting this. So now the only other option is if you are a validator. Of course, if you're a validator, you're getting rev share and perks also. So these are the conditions under which you can have a recurring income from Vitruvio. So if you believe in our vision of becoming the world's most dominant platform for creators to transact in commerce with buyers and art appreciators, etc., then this is for you, because you're going to get fairly significant rev share. If you don't believe it and you don't think we can achieve our goal, then the rev share is not going to get you much, and also the token price is not going to get you much. But if we are successful with the sales, and I am 1,000,000% confident that we will be, then there's going to be a significant rev share over time, because the number of creators and the number of artworks they create is not finite. It is unbounded. There is an infinite number of creators, and each can create an infinite number of artworks, and they can list them. And not only that, each can be multiplied. So I can put an artwork on the protocol and say it's a 1 of 100 edition. So without me doing any more work, I can sell 100 copies of that, which means 100 sales, which means 100 fees from those sales that go into the rev share, which you can then claim. So that's what rev share is all about.